everyone. The holidays are here, and we know there is so much to do for moms. It gets overwhelming with all the gift shopping and holiday parties and baking and plans and traveling, and the list goes on and on. And there's a lot of stress, which can funnel down to our kiddos who are as excited about the season. Today, I am with Justina Weber, who is the manager of behavioral health outpatient services at Research Psychiatric Center, a part of HCA Midwest Health. And we're going to discuss some tips to help families reduce and manage their holiday stress this season. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So what are a few ways that are easy to help us manage stress during this crazy season?
I think the first thing we can do is just be honest with ourselves about needing to manage that stress. So if you know that the holidays are coming up and it's going to be a stressful time of year, maybe pick a couple of ways that you know that work for you personally to manage your stress. So that could be, hey, I'm going to have strict bedtimes with the kids, so they're going to get their sleep, I'm going to get my sleep. If you know you're cooking or you're just really busy throughout the holidays, maybe getting some frozen meals ready so that you can just pop something in the oven or in the crock pot and kind of have that piece already taken care of for you. Practicing good self-care. If you need a long bath because you had a stressful day, plan some time to do that. I think just like I said, just being honest with yourself about what is this season going to look like for me and what can I do to kind of get on top of it.
Absolutely. I love on days where I know I'm either busy like doing the baking, or maybe I took a whole day to go out and shop, and then make sure I pick up an easy Costco or meal from any of your local grocers that are already pre-made. That way, that's one less thing you have to do than come home and cook on top of all of that.
Absolutely. And I even like to think about little things, like sometimes when I'm trying to hurry out the door for something, I plan enough time for myself to get ready. And then I find myself telling my 3-year-old daughter, get your shoes on, let's go, get your shoes on, let's go. So just building in a little extra time to be patient with the kids of, okay, do you have your coat? Do you have something to play with in the car? Do you have, get your shoes on, so that they don't feel so stressed by your stress.
Okay. And speaking of kids, what are some ways we can help, kind of avoid throwing our stress onto them, like building in, like you said, time, but what else would help them?
So I think sleep is super important for them, trying to keep their sleep routine as similar to when they're going to school or whatever is normal for them prior to the holiday season, keeping that regular, keeping their routine as similar as possible. Sleep is so important for everybody in managing stress. So kids can feel if we're stressed out. I think sleep is a huge part of keeping everybody kind of regulated. And then maybe just acknowledging their stress too, hey, mommy is a little bit stressed right now. We've got a lot going on. Checking in with them. Is there anything I can do that I'm not paying attention to? Or, how are you feeling? Just keeping that conversation going with the kids.
Sure. And, this time of year can be hard for families who have lost a loved one. How can families that are experiencing that manage grief during this time?
That's a really good point, Laura. I think a lot of people think, the holidays are coming up, it's happy times for everybody, but for some people, that's just not the case. And grief really has no expiration date. So I think it comes back to, again, being honest with yourself. Hey, this is our first Christmas without grandma. Grandma loved baking these certain cookies. So maybe planning something positive to remember grandma and keep a tradition going, or start a new tradition with your kiddos and really honor somebody in a positive way. Just kind of manage your expectations. So if maybe this is going to be the first holiday season without somebody, acknowledge your feelings. And if it's too much, just say, no, I need to kind of cut back a little bit. I've got this threshold right now, and this is as much as I'm able to do. And that's okay.
Right. Those are some good tips. What if, how do we know, what are some signs that maybe it's a little too much, and when to know to seek help?
Maybe different emotions that you're feeling that aren't normal for you. So maybe a little bit more irritable, more upset or angry, a lot of tearfulness, wanting to withdraw or isolate. Those can all be signs of maybe being overwhelmed and maybe even needing to seek a little bit more help than just cutting back on what you're doing and what your plans are.
Okay. And what types of services would research offer that could help someone during this time?
So we have an inpatient mental health unit that I think a lot of people know about, but we also have outpatient services that can be for anybody. We have a partial hospitalization program, which is during the day, and people can come, and especially around the holidays, you know, a lot of people are going to be coming to us because they're prepared for, I'm going to be experiencing a lot of stress and a lot of grief in this time. So just really getting some help with coping with things and learning some emotional regulation tips. And then we even have a level down from that, which is intensive outpatient. So that's group in the evening 3 times a week. So maybe people that are working and functioning, but could just use a little bit of extra help. And it's similar techniques. So I think the outpatient programs are really helpful for kind of the everyday person that just needs a little bit of extra help at any given time.
Sure. So for nearly 30 years, Research Psychiatric Center, a part of HCA Midwest Health, has provided specialized and comprehensive behavioral care to the Kansas City community. You can learn more at hcamidwest.com. Justina, is there anything else you'd like to share with our audience about holiday stress or reaching out?
I just think, you know, take some time, plan some time to be with your family and really spend some time together. I like to have whiteboards. I'm a list person. So I have whiteboards with maybe the menu for the kids. So you're setting these expectations. Here's the food that we're going to be eating. Or, you know, hey, we have a week off for Christmas. What's one thing you would like to do over your Christmas break, and try to incorporate that into the plans and just really set those clear expectations of what the break's going to look like. And just be together, do things together, be present with each other.
Sure. Well, thank you so much for sharing these tips. We hope all of our audience has a wonderful holiday season. But if you or a loved one is experiencing emotional distress, we invite you to call the Behavioral Health Crisis Line at 844-207-4511 for more information regarding admission and psychiatric evaluations, to speak with someone about emotional or mental distress. Thank you so much for being here, Justina.
Thank you, Laura.